Hey y'all, this is Kaylee Bell, and you're listening to the Backstage Pass on the home of the Grand Ole Opry, 6:50 AM WSM.
And welcome inside the Backstage Pass, another Sunday morning right here. Hope you're drinking your coffee here on WSM Radio, AM 650, the home of the Grand Ole Opry. And, of course, the last few shows we've done, we've enjoyed pumping them out, and hopefully you guys are listening and downloading there, of course, worldwide, and always love the Opry and get to listen in, 2 or 3 times a week to all the great coverage. Kelly Sutton does a great job there as the Opry announcer, and the lineups just keep getting better and better. And we're pleased to be joined from Australia and moved to Nashville a little over a year ago, and this new album is making some waves across the entire country scene called Nights Like This. It came out in March. The most streamed country artist in New Zealand and, of course, Australia right now, too. And there's that Wonder Why she's out there. Super talented. Kaylee Bell to the broadcast here on the Backstage Pass, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. Kaylee, how you doing?
Very well, thank you, Brandon. How are you?
It's good. Good to be affiliated now with the holy grail of country radio. It's the Opry station, right? There you go.
What an honor. It's still a bucket list to play the Grand Ole Opry, so this is a lovely first step.
Well, there you go. Like I said, we're on the Grand Ole Opry station, AM 650, WSM, heard worldwide. Hey, let's talk about this in your career, because like I said, you've done a lot in your career to get to this point. I mentioned moved to Nashville there a little over a year ago. So many talented Australian artists, and this album really defined you in so many great ways for Nights Like This. Talk about just the project, yourself as an artist, and just how far you've come over the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, well, I feel like a big turning point for my whole thing was The Voice Australia, when I went on that show and got to play a song, Keith, that I'd written, basically using Keith Urban song titles. I'd written it a few years back, and it was sort of just a tribute to Keith that I'd put out, and nothing much had happened. It was sort of like it did well at radio in Australia. And then I got to go on the show, The Voice, and play the song to Keith. And that was something that I just feel like sometimes in life you just have no control over how things are going to turn out. And that was something that just kind of blew up and went very viral globally. And that sort of really set the tone, I would say, post-COVID, and for like this next kind of run of music in the last sort of couple of years. It's just kind of blown up and hasn't stopped. And I've kind of just been trying to hit the ground running. And this kind of music in this record, Nights Like This, we've had so many amazing nights like this, over the last couple of years, opening for Ed Sheeran and just doing some real bucket list stuff, putting on nationwide tours through New Zealand. We just finished one. We sold, over 11,000 tickets in a country the size of New Zealand is wild. And country music is changing really, really quickly over that side of the world. And it's so cool to be, I guess, part of that change and seeing it happen firsthand in front of your eyes is it's wild, and getting a lot of mainstream kind of backing now, which is really cool on radio. In New Zealand and Australia, we're touring a lot over there as well, which is awesome. And yeah, it's just it's so great to have a record, I think, out that's very positive and empowering. I think is really what I'm just trying to put out with my music. I just think after COVID, I really felt that we needed to be together as fans, as artists. It was more evident than ever. And so this record, really, I just wanted to reflect the joy that music brings.
I love it, too. And you mentioned that big tour for the album itself, too. But there's another one coming up, I believe, in November of this year. Kane Brown, yourself, KB, I love that, too.
Yeah, meant to be.
I love you on the show. Cameron Marlowe, have had him before, too. This is going to be big. And I know tickets went on sale as of July 12th. And, of course, KaneBrownMusic.com /home. You can actually find some tickets there, too, according to what's online and social media out there. So check it out. This has got to be exciting for you because I love it. KB, and then you get to sprinkle in a little bit of Cameron Marlowe. It's pretty cool, right?
It's insane. I'm a massive Cameron Marlowe fan. I love his voice. And Kane, yeah. I mean, it's actually really funny because my band in New Zealand that I've had for about 7 years, I feel like one of Kane's songs, I Love Country Music, was like their real first turning point of like, they're like obsessed with country music now, which is so funny. And it's like we sing that song all the time backstage at gigs. We always have that song in our like warm up pre-playlist, and it's just like just really cool now to be out on the road with Kane. I just think he's one of the most versatile artists. Like he can do the most beautiful ballad, and then do something really like mainstream, like with Marshmallow. Like he's just so incredibly talented that I can't wait to just watch him and learn from him. And be part of an arena tour. It's our very first full arena tour, which is very, very exciting. And yeah, it's just all things great, really.
It really is, no doubt. And actually, you had a great year participating in CMA Fest. You got to play the Chevy Vibe stage the week we were there for CMA Fest 2024. We got to do a lot of interviews there. I just missed you, but that's why we're catching up today here on WSM AM 650, the home of the Opry. Talk about that, stepping on the Chevy Vibe stage and just really seeing the fans, because a lot of Aussies will come. They'll travel. I mean, I met a few on the plane as I flew up there, Kaylee, and they'll travel for the best in country music.
Absolutely. There's half of Australia at CMA Fest, I think, and you'll hear them. I mean, I've been coming to Nashville for 14, 15 years now. 2010 was my first year. And so CMA was always when I would come, so it was like, it's very much a part of just like my calendar every year for the last 15 years. I would always keep coming back. Always made sure CMA was part of it. So, to finally be playing it 14 years later on the Chevy stage, which has always been one of my favorite stages to go and watch artists play on. And to get to do that was a pretty big honor. And there was actually just so many fans singing the songs back, which was something that I kind of just, when you're not from here, it's like it could go a lot of different ways, but to have like genuine fans there singing the words was such a beautiful treat for us. And yeah, I mean, I just want to keep playing CMA Fest now. It was such a buzz, and the band loved it. It was their first time. I brought the band over from New Zealand, and it was their first time playing it too. So it was like a real lot of firsts for a lot of us. And it was just so cool.
Did you get to do any of the meet and greets and like kind of sign autographs there at the Music City Center?
I did. It was so lovely. It's honestly, meet and greets are one of my favorite things. We've been, like I said, headline touring New Zealand and Australia for the last couple of years. And a big part of my show is that I've always done meet and greets after, no matter how long I stand there. It's just like, we never charge for them. I just think it's so important to make that connection, especially with kids. And, anyone that you can influence in a positive way. I think it's such a cool thing to get to have that one-on-one and have a little chat. And so, it was really cool to get to do that here at CMA as well. And to just be starting to make some connections with people, because America's always been the dream for me. And I've always, wanted to tour America.
Well, I love it too, because I do a lot of prognostications or prophecies here on the show. So a couple of years ago, we had Lainey Wilson on before. I mean, she really blew up. And I said, don't worry, just in a few years, we got to do this. You're going to blow up and be just big worldwide. And of course, everybody tries to stay mellow and grounded in this business. You're very humble and things like that. So I'm making a prediction. Another couple of years, Kaylee Bell is going to make an Opry debut. How's that?
Thank you so much. That would be a beautiful thing.
I would love it too. And time to play some music here on the show here on WSM AM 650, the home of the Grand Ole Opry, featuring Kaylee Bell this week on our Sunday morning slot. You can listen every Sunday morning here to the Backstage Pass, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com out there too, worldwide. And of course, it's songs like this. Time to take it to the highway from Kaylee Bell off the album Nights Like This. Here it is on WSM AM 650, the home of the Grand Ole Opry. Enjoy.
It's on Backstage Pass.
The Kaylee Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thekayleegordonshow.com. Again, that is thekayleegordonshow.com.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on WSM AM 650, the home of the Grand Ole Opry here Sunday mornings. You can catch the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. It's a grand slam of music and sports out there, too, with talk. And, of course, a lot of great shows coming up over the next few weeks. Kaylee Bell joining us here. Nights Like This just came out in March. The debut album from the great Australian artist, too. And, of course, we played a great song there, Take It to the Highway. And y'all took it to the highway, my friend. Talk about this one, too, because this had to be as much fun to record and step in the studio as it is to sing live, right?
You're so right. I wrote this song with Lindsay Rhymes and Phil Barton, who are like probably my little go-to team. We've written a lot together. We wrote my song Keith together. And I feel like our writing day is basically 90% laughing and then 10% writing a song. Like that's just how it seems to operate. Like I just love their sense of humor and they're just always cracking jokes. And it is actually a really great way to lay sort of the energy of the room out. And I think from that, we all just relax and get the chance to kind of be comfortable together, which is a really big thing when you're writing with people. And so I've just got to know them so well over the years that, you know, anytime I go into a room and I'm like, we need a song to open the set, or we need that song that's going to be like something that I want to, you know, play at a festival, they are my guys. And that was the energy and the vibe of the song. I had the chorus, I had that Take It to the Highway little hook in my head for about 6 months, and I held on to it because I knew they were who I was going to write it with, and walked in the room, was like, this is the energy for the day, this is it. And we were kind of off. And yeah, Take It to the Highway is just, it literally is the song that opens our whole show on tour, and it's just a big energy. And yeah, it's fun to play.
You know, with the year being almost halfway over, I still can't believe where it's gone for 2024, looking back at it. But talk about just building and riding that momentum. We mentioned the Kane Brown and Cameron Marlowe tour, which you're going to be on coming up in November. And people can check out your social media and, of course, KayleeBell.WSM for tour dates and merchandise out there, too. But also, too, what are you most looking forward to as we move forward now to well into the second half of this year?
Yeah, I feel like I'm always looking ahead, like a lot of artists, and starting to work on a new project to release next year. I finally got some team around me in America. I've always been self-managed, independent, and that's been awesome. I really love that. I love having control over my career and knowing what's going on. But for America, I always wanted to have a bit more of a team around me, and so it's nice to be starting to put those people in place. And I really do feel like next summer we'll be underway and we'll be out playing a lot over here in the States, which is, like I said, it's the goal, it's the dream. I've been obsessed with Nashville since I was 4 years old and grew up singing country music since then, and just always knew one day I wanted to be in America touring. So yeah, we're getting closer to the goal every day.
We are, no doubt about it, too. I love it. Love the story, too. You know, so many great Australian artists. We were talking about this a little bit off air, but one of my friends, Haley Jensen, who turned me on to you, no doubt about it, and Jane Denham, and just so many great female artists doing their thing. Yes. What does that say about Australian country music now really impacting Nashville, Tennessee?
You're right. So many great females over there doing really cool things. And I just think, as we've kind of talked about, you know, country music is a global genre now. We've seen it just explode particularly in the last 2 years, I would say. And so I just think it's exciting that, you know, the gap is getting bridged, hopefully. And, you know, I can jump on a Kane Brown tour in Australia, and then it's sort of like the favor works both ways, you know. I love seeing Americans come out to our side of the world, and I love seeing Aussies have success in America. So I just think hopefully, you know, those lines are going to get a bit more blurred, and that whole thing of, you know, where you come from is sort of more and more irrelevant. You know, I just think if you're making great music and if people are loving it, then that's all that really matters.
There was another song off this record. I loved it for Nights Like This, and you guys can check it out across all the DSPs out there for wherever you're streaming takes place. I thought it was just really cool. I love the title, Boots and All. Let's talk about this one.
Boots. I feel like this song brings me the greatest joy. We end our set with this song, and it's just been one of those songs that's really knocked down a lot of walls. We released this to radio straight off the back of the Ed Sheeran tour that we were on last year, and it was a top 20 pop hit right through the country and mainstream radio, which was, again, a massive game changer, I think, for the genre. And it's just a song that, like I said, we get people up doing a little line dance thing when we play it, and my band's learned how to do it, which is hilarious because they're the most uncoordinated humans in the world, and they can manage to do it. So it just brings a lot of joy, and I feel like this song has been the massive connector for me to a lot of people, and for people discovering my music for the first time. I think a lot of it has been done through the song. So I just feel like this song, I don't know, I just wish it was on every Boots commercial because it makes you want to dance as soon as you hear it. But it's basically, I guess it's like I went into that writing day and I was like, I want to write a song somewhere between Shania Twain and Haim, and I think we really walked away with the song that fits that brief.
Y'all really did too. And here's another one off that record, Nights Like This, from Kaylee Bell here on WSM AM 650, the home of the Grand Ole Opry, and I hope one day she's making that Grand Ole Opry debut. And it's songs like this too we're talking about today off the record. And here's one called Good Things.
Feels different, it's all gonna change, and all of the pieces just fall into place. And we'll look back on this moment one day, the memories we make and dreams that we chase. It's a winding road, but it's all worth the wait. I'm ready for good things to come my way. For good things to come my way. Doubts, it'll all work out. Something feels different, it's all gonna change, and all of the pieces just fall into place. And we'll look back on this moment one day, the memories we make and dreams that we chase. It's a winding road, but it's all worth the wait. I'm ready for good things to come my way.
If y'all want to catch up on everything music and sports related, hit them up. Check them out at www.thesportsguyspodcast.com.
The Kaylee Gordon Show is a 2-hour show playing the best in country music. So check it out at thekayleegordonshow.com. Again, that is thekayleegordonshow.com.
And more great shows coming up over the next few weeks on Sunday morning from 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. right there. Grand Ole Opry Station, the home, WSM AM 650. Multiple ways to listen. You guys know those ways. The app, of course, WSMradio.com and iHeartRadio, too, out there. Back here with Kaylee Bell on the show. Some more great shows coming up over the next few weeks. T. Graham Brown, Robert Earl Keene, and just a whole lot more. We're pumping them out probably faster than you can download them. Appreciate you guys listening out there and, of course, our other syndicated radio stations. So we got to talk about it. I mentioned if people kind of, put themselves out there and always do good things will happen on the flip side. And this one had to be fun to put your vocals on too, right?
Absolutely. I'm a big believer in the universe, and it's stepping in at times of, change, or when you go and take that risk and do something scary. And Good Things was a song that I actually wrote just before I moved to Nashville. It was like that crossroads, where you're like, you're about to change your life, and it's terrifying in a lot of ways. But I remember as a kid, I had another moment like that, a massive crossroad, and Kelly Clarkson's song Breakaway had just come out, and I listened to that song literally on repeat. And I can't tell you how helpful that song was for me as a kid going through a change. And so I've always wanted to write a song for people that hopefully can do the same thing. And I feel like that Good Things is exactly that. It's saying to the universe, like, I'm doing the scary thing, but I know that if I put myself out there, I will be rewarded. And yeah, I think it happens a lot in life. I've seen it. So I truly believe it.
I do too, no doubt. Good karma equals good karma, no doubt about
Absolutely.
that too. It's almost like going out to a restaurant, and some people say, some people are like, if the service is great, we're going to tip well. I'm like, look, I always believe in just tipping well in general, because look, if you tip well to the servers and people that take care of you in a restaurant or a bar or a sports bar, whatever, good karma is going to come back around. So good things will happen.
Always. Like, you treat people well and it will come back to you.
It'll come back to you, no doubt about it. Good karma. And karma can be a good or a bad thing, no doubt about it. Off the record, small town, Friday nights. Let's dive into this one.
Yeah, so I grew up in a tiny little country town in the South Island of New Zealand. My mum and dad still live there, actually. It's 3,000 people. It's actually very similar to small town America. I feel like when you look at images, it kind of looks like a little American ski town or something. And grew up singing country music from, like I said, from the age of 4 with my brother and sister. And I've just always been incredibly, I guess, grateful would be the word, to have grown up in a small town. I think the sense of like community and support you get just from the whole community, not just your family, like the whole town kind of does actually raise you in a way, because you're so injected into so many different things, and you get to do so many different things as a kid, because often you're just chucked into a sports team here or a musical production there just to make up numbers or whatever. But I just feel such a strong sense of who I am because of, being from a small town. And so I have always wanted a song that kind of reflected that. And one thing in a small town, as everybody knows, is Friday night is like the night of the week. It's like we used to always go and play touch rugby. The whole town would turn up, and then if you were old enough, you'd go to the pub. If you weren't, you'd go out to a field somewhere in the country, and there'd be a bonfire. And it was just like, those were some of the best memories I have. Like, it really is like the movies. It's as simple as that. And so, I just wanted a song that just talked about that. And I think, like I said, it's funny. I grew up in a town at the bottom of the world, but I see so many similarities between small towns everywhere I've traveled. And again, I just love that music can like remind people of that we're actually a lot more similar than maybe we realize.
Well, I love it too. And over there too, you mentioned about sports. I love working that in, because rugby is a big deal in Australia, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the All Blacks, they're the best in it. And I mean, that was the other thing about growing up in a small town, though. Like, playing music was quite rare, It was like sport was the thing that was encouraged. And it makes me even more super grateful to have had parents and a family that, when I told them I was moving to Australia and was going to pursue country music, they never hesitated. They never told me that's ridiculous, or, there was absolutely, like, it was insane, actually, when I look back. And there was a lot of safer options around that they could have kind of steered me in that direction. But I'm so grateful that they were just like, absolutely, if that's what you love to do, go and do it. And so very, very grateful to have parents that have always just been so encouraging.
I love it too, and I love this little rapid fire segment. We get to know you more on a little personal basis. So when not doing music, what does Kaylee Bell like to do for fun, like hobbies, things like that?
Oh, well, I love working out. I box a lot.
I don't want to mess with her. Watch out.
No, just careful. and I really do love sport. Like I love watching. I love playing basketball, tennis, just anything really. Always been a big sports girl. And I really love reading and painting and art and just like kind of shutting myself off for the world and doing things like that kind of ground me again. I think the older I'm getting and the more we're getting just into phones and all the rest of it, I just have really found that time away from that just even more and more important. And just, it's like we have to remember we've got to keep learning. It's like it's all good to be scrolling Instagram for an hour, but I could have been reading a book and learning something. And so I'm really trying to get back to that kind of mindset. Hey,
so pleased to have you here again. Nights Like This, the current album from the great Kaylee Bell, out there across all the digital streaming platforms. And of course, check her out at KayleeBell.Music.com, KayleeBell Bellmusic.com. Hey, we appreciate you being with us, being featured here on WSM AM 650, the home of the Opry. Best of luck with the tours and, of course, the new album. Continued success going forward, and we appreciate you being with us.
You're a legend. Thanks, Brandon. It's been awesome chatting. Thank you.
Got it. Kaylee Bell out there, too. And we're back next Sunday, 5:30 a.m. to 6 a.m. with another new episode featuring another great artist out there here on the home of the Grand Ole Opry, AM 650 WSM. It's been the Backstage Pass, powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com. Check out the website out there and check us out on social media while you're at it, too. You can catch all the shows out there, too, on our other syndicated stations and, of course, social media out there. The best place beside WSM, the Sports Guys Podcast.com. We'll see you next Sunday from 5:30 to 6 a.m. here on the Backstage Pass. Take care.